People there. Pause that for. Good morning, everyone. It is a Tuesday morning, which means we are ready for Tuesday training and tactics. Today, I'm calling this business setup. Oh, yeah. Business setup or reset. The first 90 days overview. In the last month, we hired 10 agents to Realty One Group to this office. Thank you for those of you if you're online. But I just want to make sure that people know where certain things are in our systems. So I'm going to get started and then I'm going to take a little break and introduce somebody, but let's see if we can get started here. My key is working here. So sometimes when agents join us, they're new to Realty One Group, and other times they're totally new to real estate. So this is for both of you. And the reason I say it that way is because people that have been experienced agents that don't know our systems need to go through and do certain things. Now, they may not need to get their, portrait photo taken, right? They may have that, but they're going to need to go through and do other things. So let's get started. Usually when you start here, when you get hired, you get sent an email, and oftentimes people miss that there's a lovely little link in there saying get started. They just read the email and kind of toss it aside. Inside there is a link that says 90 days to success. Please click here. And it's a nice little couple of page with whole bunch of to-do lists. Again, it is linked in your welcome email to the one-on-one 90 days to success. I highly recommend you look at that. I am updating that form. Somehow the one that I had done about a year ago is no longer the one that was linked. So it was still saying the Monday masterminds and other things that are now Tuesday training and tactics. And we moved from waking up to win to every other Wednesday Realty One Group does the one prime time. If you would like a copy of the new version, send me an email and I will send it to you. So let's get started though. Some of the things that you first have to do, give me 5 minutes? Sure. Okay, perfect. So some of the things you have to do when you first start with Realty One Group is to set up your accounts. Now, again, if you're new to real estate, some of these will be specific to you. Obviously, if you're brand new to real estate, well, actually, if you're switching offices, you still need to go to the Arizona Department of Real Estate and change your brokerage to Realty One Group Paradise Valley. I give you that ID number when you set up that change, so you're able to find that very easily. We love having you join us. The one zone is your login, which gives you access to all of our materials. And it's really important you go in there as soon as you get the login. I think that's the hardest thing for agents switching companies is they call us on a Friday at like 2 o'clock and go, okay, I'm ready to go. And I want to write an offer tomorrow. And it's like, give us a little time. There are a lot of steps that have to go into place to go from switching at the department to getting onboarded to ours, not only in our office, but we have to send, your information to an IT department that I think is in California. I don't know exactly where those people are located, but they're not someplace where I can go and go, hey, where's the file? Can you tell me where the file is? I have no control over that. So always give us a little time. We've got to get you on the one zone. If you are not aware, the local association is where you go to join if you are going to become a realtor. And this is focused on those that are realtors. We do have a handful that have chosen to be real estate professionals, and that's awesome. You obviously don't need to do this. Well, you kind of need to do this step because you have to join at the Phoenix Association, but not as a realtor. So if that's what you're doing, please give me a call. I'll explain all of that. But it is your local association that is actually the controller of how you write your contracts. And if you don't tell your local association that you switched from another company to Realty One Group, when you go in to write your contract, the bottom of it is going to say Melissa Schwartz at blah, 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 Realty, right? It's not going to say Realty One Group because I didn't tell my local association I moved. So likewise, if you're a new agent and you don't go join the local association, you don't even have access to any of those forms. So you have to join one of the local associations. You have 3 of them. or you can choose to be a non-member, which is fine. That local login is also good to go take all your classes through the local association. Check out their education calendar. They have a ton of available classes. So phoenixrealtors.com, weserve.realtor, scottsdalerealtors.org. Does anybody know what WeServe stands for?
Southeast Real Valley.
Realtors of the Valley, very good. Western, Southeastern Realtors of the Valley. It used to be Weimar and Sevrar, which was the Western Maricopa Association and the Southeastern Association of Realtors. So they merged. And by the way, when we're talking Southeast, I'm not talking Gilbert, Chandler. I'm talking Sierra Vista on the other side of Tucson is part of WeServe. It is huge, folks. Tucson is its own, but Sierra Vista and some of the areas right around Sierra Vista are a part of WeServe and also a part then of the Arizona Regional Multiple Listing Service, right? So I'll throw in there ARMLS, right? So you not only have to join your local association, which actually will give you membership with local, state, and national. I call it the trio, okay? But you need to join ARMLS if you want to have access to our multiple listing system that covers actually all of Maricopa County, part of Pinal County, now the area of Sedona and the Green Verde Valley,
Green.
Green, Verde Valley, as well as the Sierra Vista. So it is a rather large MLS. They are trying to get other MLSs to join in. I don't know how long it'll take that. They've been working on it for, I don't know, 15 years. So we've gotten a few. Okay. AAR is the Arizona Association of Realtors. You do need a log on there. They have something called a single sign-on. Once you log into AAR online, you can get access to a lot of other programs and links to things. For those agents that have been around a while, Transaction Desk is based off of AAR. For new agents, most of you are learning the SkySlope forms versus Transaction Desk. Good to know, though, if SkySlope is acting up, that you do have an alternative that's free to you that you can go on to AAR. Then, of course, you do also have a login for the National Association of Realtors, NAR.Realtor. Not only do you need your login, but oftentimes you need your NERDS number, which is your National Association number. And I meant to put what they're calling it today. I think it's like MEID or it's some weird thing there. I'll have to add that later. And then one of the other accounts you need to open is your Supra account. Most people don't know the superweb.suprakim.com, but that's actually the website that if you're trying to set up or do something with your key, which by the way is your phone, which I don't seem to have, which is good. I can't get phone calls, but your phone is where you use your super key. They used to have a little key that you had separate, no longer available. Everything is done on your phone. So these are accounts to really get up and off the ground that you need to have all of these. I would say all of these cost you money, and they're all a part of your basic annual cost of running your business. If you are going to be buying and selling residential real estate, you've got to have that ARMLS and your super key, all of those. Let's see what the next page goes to. Okay, I'm going to jump off here for a second. We are going to bring in, I'm just going to say hello to somebody who's visiting us today. Most of this is on the basic of getting up and running. But part of getting up and running, if you've been for an interview with me recently, I often show you the things that Rock Title does for our offices. And there's a variety of things behind me. I do have some stuff that'll come up on my slides here in a minute, but Roberta came down to join our meeting for a quick minute, but she's got a signing. So I'm going to introduce, oops, if I can do that correctly. I'm going to introduce Roberta. Now, she is our senior escrow officer from Rock Title. Roberta, what does Rock actually stand for?
Ready, open, close.
Love that acronym. And I've been here a long time and known about Rock Title a long time. I don't think I knew that until about 2 years ago. So that's kind of fun. So when you have a new agent for the first time, what do you as an escrow officer do to kind of help train, give that agent an idea of what is to come?
First, Melinda Marketing reaches out to
Yes,
them and
that's right.
offers all their marketing stuff, and then she introduces me, and I talk to the agent about what they're needing, any kind of education they're needing. We will do one-on-one explanations on settlement statements and the escrow process and title commitment, all of that good stuff.
And just so you know, some of those classes that Roberta is mentioning right now have been done as a part of my Tuesday training and tactics. So I do have several of those on my YouTube channel. But yes, like she said, if you're brand new here and have a upcoming settlement, she will sit down and go over, as will Art, our other escrow officer upstairs, will go over what a settlement statement looks like. So you as an agent have a better understanding of that before your client walks in there for the signing.
What you need to be looking for on that settlement statement.
Correct. And there are several steps in the process. One of the first ones is that you receive a title report when you're first under contract, or have a new listing, so that they're able to get you the title report so you can find out, oh, what are things that pop up on title reports, Roberta?
Liens, judgments, things they didn't know existed.
Yeah, that's always fun. And so let's say that the seller's name is John Smith.
We'll require an ID statement from the seller to make sure any of those liens or judgments are not Mr. John Smith.
That and a big recommendation, if you have somebody with a general name, always encourage them to use their middle names. The more unique they can get on that legally, the more unique they can get, the better it will be for them down the road.
Definitely.
Anything else you want to share?
Nope, we're here for you. Anything you may need, just reach out.
Okay, and I'm going to show you guys a bunch of this stuff with regard to training, because Rock Title, as one of our biggest affiliates and supporters, provides a great deal of training and education. You will see some of these things that I'm going to talk about, but then we're going to get to some very specific things that Rock Title provides for us. So every week, month, there are always things that this office provides for you. Every office has different things. I've been the managing broker here for 2 years, actually this week. On Thursday is my second anniversary. So something I had started originally, I followed up and was doing Mandy's Monday something. But at any rate, it was really hard on Mondays because, as you can imagine, agents are a little busy over the weekend. So Mondays were quite a zoo when I came in. And so I moved that to Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. It's now called Tuesday Training and Tactics. I try to provide hands-on useful tools that actually are things that people use day to day in their real estate on Tuesday mornings. We go over contracts, we go over changes in contracts, we go over different training methods, systems on our computer that we can utilize, bring in guest speakers, etc. We often have Epic and Rock here to help share with us what they're doing. My office meeting is the second Tuesday of every month, unless for some reason there's something else going on that is, something large in the state or something. I think we had an AAR training, so I had to skip or move that office meeting. If you're not aware, Realty One Group provides Rev Up workshops, and these are for both new and returning agents. There's nothing wrong with being an experienced agent and joining us on a Rev Up. They are Fridays at 9 a.m. at 1 p.m. They are online on Zoom, but they are actually being taught live almost 90% of the time. We do have a couple of the brokers have recorded some of theirs. I think when Leah was traveling earlier in the month, she posted her video when she was not able to be there. But for the most part, and I even think another broker sat in on that training, so that there is interaction with that broker as a part of that training. Just so you know, if you are part of the franchises you know, and remember, corporate only has 12 offices. So of the 500 plus other offices, the rest are all franchises. So if you're a franchisee agent, you're paying $250 to attend those 8 Rev Up workshops. They are taught by our corporate training level. We have pretty much the same content, but we each are taking one of the classes to train our agents and get them up and off the ground and really able to roll. So I hope you'll take a look at those. We now have every other Wednesday, the one prime time, which is, I believe, at 10 a.m., depending on when we hit daylight savings, because we are all across the country. They shift the time around at that point, but it is every other Wednesday. Look for it in my newsletter. They have some incredible guest speakers from all around the world, mostly focused, of course, in this country, but some incredible agents and I would say leaders in real estate to talk about what is happening in the real estate industry, usually very cutting edge. Lots of different things you can learn. One of the ones that, especially for new agents, I'm touting, and I don't remember the exact date, an agent from one of the Carolinas had really done an impressive job with marketing to a new home community that she moved into 7 years ago. The rest of the community was not yet built out. The clubhouse wasn't built out. So she hosted the Easter egg roll the first year. 7 years later, she's doing like 6 events a year. She has probably, I think she said, 4 listings a month in that community. Everyone in that community knows who she is. And what is so impressive is, you know, please don't look at where she is at 7 years. Look at the little steps she did to build that business over the years. And it was simply by reaching out and being there for that community. She made a name for herself. Everybody knows who she is. There are other realtors that live in the area. Most of them don't even try to compete with her. They don't hold a chance, right? And that's fine. But she was able to put her stamp on that community. And I recommend you listen to it. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just her passion. And she was able to put it out there and connect to that community. So there are some amazing one prime times out there. They are all available on the One University. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Everybody gets a one-on-one newsletter on a Wednesday. I don't think it's every Wednesday, but we get one from the corporate offices. I know you get it. I get it. I'm always looking to see what's happening. Hopefully you guys have been looking at what is happening with the summit. If any of you are able to join us in November, it's in November in Miami. I highly encourage you to come. I am going. About half of our brokers this year are going to go and half are going to stay back and kind of watch the shop, which is great. In the past, we've all gone, but that also meant we were all also doing business. So it'll be kind of nice to be able to go and mostly focus on being able to be present there rather than trying to catch up with phone calls and respond. So there are 4 or 5 agents, 4 agents, I guess, that are staying here. So I have shifted my newsletters. We are sending a newsletter out on Sundays that is all sorts of stuff in the kitchen sink, things that the Realty One Group corporate is trying to make sure is out there, things that our affiliates are doing, all sorts of stuff, right? Tidbits on contract language for your contracts. We rotate some of those out, so it's not every month. Things that are going on, I'm sorry, every week. Things that are going on with the CARES program, where we're donating our time, or maybe doing a donation and asking people to bring stuff in, and of course, training and things that are going on. Because I do my Tuesday meeting, we found it was useful to send out a reminder before the Tuesday meeting, because everybody would see it on Sunday, and then Tuesday people would start wandering in around 10:30 or 11, go, oh, you're having a training. Oh, sorry, I missed it. So Tuesday morning, you will get another email, and we've switched this because we were doing one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. We've combined that. So Tuesday morning around 8:30 or 9, you will get an alert that yes, we've got our training or our office meeting. And then it's very concise and only brings up specifically what events are happening for about the next week. Okay, so we give you all the classes, We give you what I'm training here, maybe what another broker is training, a CE opportunities for about the next 7 to 10 days. I think we forgot to put that next week is our office meeting, and somebody texted me this morning, wait, there's no office meeting this week? Yes, we just forgot to put the office meeting. Yes, we are having it. So, but if you can keep that in mind, you can look for those 2 emails each week to be able to catch up what's going on. We feature one of our affiliates on that Tuesday morning because we know Sundays gets really, really long. So usually the first Tuesday morning of each month, we feature Rock Title with Melinda with what she's doing with her pop buys. So you can always pull up that email to see what cool things she has available for you. Even if you're not in the office, open that up. We've got a picture of what the cool things are that she's providing. You can come into our office or you can send Melinda a note and say, hey, I would love to have some of those. Just a fun extra thing for you. So that's our scheduling in a nutshell. Let me show you other resources we've got. Truly for training, you have some of the most amazing assets available to you. One University, Rock University, and then my YouTube channel. If you have not seen it, our office has our own YouTube channel. It's Realty One Group Paradise Valley. One University, we'll show you some more things with that. And of course, I brought up Rock University. Rock Title has created a university. Some of that is for generic clients of Rock Title, and some is very specific to Realty One Group. Okay, I mentioned the rev ups. Guess what? I am teaching at 9 a.m. this Friday. And if you are a brand new agent or wanting to learn about farming or branding, I highly recommend you join me at 9 a.m. In your newsletter on Sunday and on Tuesday morning, there were links to register for these classes. I believe I require registration. I believe the one at 1 o'clock, which is GPS, the goals prospecting and systems, that one starts at 1. I think you just jump onto that and join the class. So just for you to know that those are happening, I will go in much more detail on that, about your branding, how to create that. Today, we're going to talk about where some of those things are and the resources, but I go into the philosophy behind some of it on that branding thing. So join me. Okay. I am hoping that all of you have gotten to the Realty One Group, the One Zone. If you log in to the One login, the One Zone is up on the top. I think I'll show you that screen in just a second. I blocked out those, grayed out those just because they're things that you don't have access to in my frequency. One of the things I need to make sure everybody knows, on the right of frequency, which just shows you 10 blocks, right? 10 links there. To the right says your apps. I have everything showing here. Oftentimes people see like 12 or 14 little boxes and they think, oh, that's everything. No, that's probably one of the 5 categories that's under your apps. Make sure if you're looking for something that toggle down actually shows everything. And then it's like 2 pages of boxes. There's a ton of stuff in there. I'm not going to show that to you right now, but I just want to make sure you know that that's there. You can see the top 4 right here. One University, the One Zone, Rock University, and Skyslope. They were on the bottom of my frequency. Really important to know you have access to the One University. Once in One University, you click on that, scroll down. Almost all of the stuff on the One Zone has a pretty picture up front, and you're like, whoa, that's a nice picture, but what does that mean? Scroll down. Make sure you're moving down that screen, or I guess you're scrolling the screen up is what you're doing, but make sure you're looking below because there's a whole ton of stuff available, right? So in One University, if you scroll so you can see down below, you will see my learning, my playlist, my transcript, kind of like school, right? You get to do stuff. They're making some modifications to One University over the next month. But for now, I recommend those truly new to real estate go to Welcome to Real Estate. Now, if you have been doing business for a while, you might want to go to the one next to that where the guy's going up the stairs. That's taking your business to the next level. There are specific uh, classes, presentations, seminars that are set up for agents at different parts of their career. The other thing to keep in mind is you can always, whoops, let me just go to the Welcome Real Estate. I'll show you the second and the other part in a second. Under Welcome to Real Estate, they are modifying these things. These are the 10 classes, if you will. Some of them are webinars, some are videos, some are like notebooks, right? So if you notice, the very first one is buyer and seller scripts. Again, this is not just for new agents, somebody that is struggling to understand how to talk to buyers and sellers. This was just updated. This was updated since August, right? You're struggling with knowing what to say. Go look at those scripts. We've got them there for you, right? There, you can also just go to the search bar and type in scripts. That's not the only set of scripts that are here. So again, you have access. There are literally thousands of documents on here. So the OneSuite CRM, the website training webinar, there's all sorts of tools and resources here to get your business off the ground. I like the old phrase, teach a man to fish and they can eat for life rather than giving them a fish. Here, let me do this for you today. Well, doing it for you today doesn't help you tomorrow, okay? The One University and Rock University is your opportunity to take your business to whatever level you want to take it to. The virtual tour talks about what is on here. The new agent starter kit is where I would recommend a new agent go. And again, you can see the one prime time, they've got a couple of those with different guest speakers that are actually on this. They also have the Take Your Disc assessment here. How many of you know what the disc assessment is? Anybody online want to say they know, or anybody in person, do you know? Okay, so a disc assessment is a personality type test assessment. So what is cool about that is there are a couple of things. If you're working on a team or developing a team, really, really important to do your own disc assessment and have your team do a disc assessment because you want to have balance there. But part of why they have this available to you and why it's so important as an agent, who do you have to interact with day in and day out? Clients, people, other agents, right? Title company. The more you can understand the type of personality you're dealing with, the better you will be able to assist them in the language that they understand. So I've always loved it. We know we have a lot of engineers here in Arizona because we've got some of the biggest engineering firms in the country, right? So I always find it fascinating because we do have realtors that are engineer minded and they want to hand people numbers. And if you hand numbers to a social person that is like, okay, where are we going to dinner? What are we doing this? Oh, the house. Oh, I love this house. They do not want to see numbers. They are not going to listen to you. Same, the reverse goes on. If you have somebody that your client is an engineer and all you show them is pretty pictures, you're done. That is not what they asked you for. They want to see the numbers. What is this going to cost them? What are the impact of the neighborhood, of that, of the development that's going next door? How is that going to affect their bottom line? What are the schools like? Those are the things they want to see. But if you don't know who you're talking to, how do you know how to reach out to them? So take advantage of doing the DISC assessment yourself and learn about those 4 different personality types, right? That's why it's there. Now, is that something you were told, oh, in real estate school, you should learn personality types? I don't think that was in my training, folks, right? And it's not. But there are so many soft skills that we use as realtors day in and day out that, again, the tools are here for you. You just have to decide what you want to take advantage of. Now, notice this is on that welcome to real estate, right? Welcome to real estate. Here's a wide variety of things you probably should study and research. Now, we've got agents here that are experienced over different years, right?
Yeah.
And had, like, you worked part-time for years as also being a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So, people have different places that they've come from to get to real estate. My minor was in psychology, and I swear I've used that more in my real estate career than I ever thought I would, right? But it lends to this whole DISC assessment, right? There's also business planning guides, other things here, but this just gives you, this is really for an overview, and or use the search bar. So there is a search bar. You don't have to go to any of these. You can just hit the search bar and look for something you're looking for. Somebody came to me the other day and said, hey, could I help? They had a client come to them and it was potentially a short sale. What does that mean? And I'm like, okay, that is not a 5-minute conversation. There are so many variables there. And yes, I'm certified in short sales. So, but if you had that question, I'd be more than happy to sit down with you. But here is a place you could go to put in there, hey, what about this? What about foreclosures? What about, for sale by owners? Are there scripts I can use? Is that there's a ton of detail in this one university. Okay. So the new agent starter kit you saw, I clicked on that. I kind of circled that below. If you click on the new agent starter kit, you're going to get 19 different things to look at. I'm going to highlight a few of these because I think that even if you're an experienced agent, if you did not go through some of this training, this might be someplace you want to go back and check out. First, of course, is the One U intro videos and the One University training webinar. And another one with that is the Zone and One login intro video. Now, obviously, if you've been experienced agent and you're already on the Zone and stuff, great. If you're not, I definitely recommend you go through that intro video just to see what all is available in the Zone and the login, okay? Next, there is a Zone user manual, right? If you noticed it's Z1, how many times you see the one in everything we do, right? Z1, so Zone user manual. All right, then you've got a ton of SkySlope information. Now, I'm just going to ask the people that are sitting around me, how many of you here use SkySlope forms? How many of you use Transaction Desk?
Transaction desk.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're learning.
I'm trained on SkySlope. There's a little bit of both.
Okay, so we've got a split here online. Anybody want to shout out Transaction Desk or SkySlope forms? Online? Going. Uh-oh, did I lose all my?
SkySlope.
SkySlope, okay. Anybody else?
I use them exclusively. Skype.
I have used both.
Okay, all right. So if you'll notice, there was a SkySlope intro video, a number 10. There's SkySlope getting started for agents. And then there's a complete forms walkthrough, SkySlope forms, number 15. I have been trying to share with new agents because it is very confusing. SkySlope itself, just the one word, SkySlope, I call it our big file cabinet. That is where you go when you have a brand new buyer broker agreement, right? How many hours do you have to load in that executed buyer broker agreement? How many hours?
72.
72 hours, right? And for all of you that are agents that have been around a while, they're like, wait, what? We have to do that now? What do you mean? We never had to put that in there. That is correct. As of August, we now have in our SkySlope, the file cabinet, right? We have a new way that you load in your buyer broker agreement, and there are 2 other forms that automatically are attached to that. Can anybody tell me what those 2 forms are? Agency, the ready form, right? Real estate agency and disclosure. It's a Realty One Group form, not an AAR form.
Affiliated business?
Affiliated business arrangement, the ABA. Now, I prefer one more form to that. Who can tell me what a third form that I like? I think there should be 4 initially.
Buyer
What
advisory,
should you?
buyer advisory.
Yes, thank you very much. Buyer advisory. I think you should be giving the buyer advisory when you are having them sign the buyer broker exclusive employment agreement. Okay. So SkySlope, one word, is our file cabinet. SkySlope Forms is an app. It gives you access to the AAR forms as well as some Realty One Group forms, but it's an app. Transaction Desk is another program, but the functions like that app gives you access to the forms in order to do your business. Okay. So I also recommend new agents, go to the search bar and type in elevator speech, because I think the hardest thing to learn as a brand new agent, or new to a new company, is what do you say when somebody says, well, hey, what do you do? Cocktail hour, right? An elevator speech is like a 30 to 60 second or a 20 to 30 second quick response, right? Oh, you're in real estate. How is the market? What are you going to say? And I think you have to practice this. I think you have to learn how to be comfortable saying that. Last year, I was very, very adamant that agents, especially experienced agents, needed to have an answer to the question of, oh, what do you think about this lawsuit, right? Because you needed to have something planned that you could say. So again, elevator speeches could be a variety of things, but I think you need to plan to have some solid answers to general questions. And when I say practice it, that doesn't mean write it down. That means if you have to stand in front of a mirror, say it to the mirror. If you have a significant other, if you have a poor kid, make the kid listen to you. Your parents, right? Somebody to actually listen to you to say it so you can hear it. When we write things down, they do not necessarily come out the way we intended them to come out when we actually speak them. So please vocalize them so you can hear what you're saying and go, yeah, that is not how I meant to say that. Work on that, right? Be comfortable. Now, I can sit and talk about real estate. They had a contest to talk for 48 hours. I could probably talk about real estate for 48 hours. Not that I want to, but there are so many areas in real estate. There are so many areas. So, but you, especially as a new agent, the last thing you want to use is what word? What's the last thing you want to say as a new agent when you're talking to somebody?
Oh, if you're a new agent.
That you're a new agent, right? Hey, I'm a brand new agent. Can I sell your $1 million listing? No, I'm not going to give that to you, right? But you can share what you do have your experiences with real estate. Doesn't mean as a realtor or real estate professional, how many homes have you lived in? How many homes have you remodeled? What's the favorite architectural type? There are so many things that you can talk about, right? And I do talk about this on the branding. So I'm going to move on so we get through all this stuff. So again, you've got those things there. Rock University. I mentioned this earlier with Rock Title. We will rock you. We want you to become a VIP member. That is for Realty One Group, and you have access to their training schedule, including our One Suite training, which is our website and CRM program, and the Realty One Group orientation. That is critical. Now, it's only offered live on a Zoom like once a month, but it is always has a recording available for you. You definitely need to take a look at that. In my Tuesday morning newsletter, you should have seen the training schedule. Well, it won't have this whole thing. This was from Sunday, but 6/4 tomorrow is one of our Rock Title guests coming, talking about boundaries, burnout, and the power of no. And then on 6/11, Jeff Zimfer is coming and speaking about getting more listings by attracting downsizing sellers who's moving from a big home to a smaller home, right? So there's always several of these each month that Rock Title provides to us. And then that's how you become a VIP member. There's way more available. The monthly learning assets I just talked about, there are Canva templates, marketing resources, and training videos. Here's your video library. At the very bottom is those training videos, including that one orientation. You can click that to get to part 1 and part 2. And oh, by the way, my lovely office admins put those training videos available in my newsletter on Sundays. So if you're looking for that, you can actually click there. But I want you to understand that this is available even without my newsletter. There's a lot of other stuff there. So your presence. Let's talk about how you start making yourself visible. If you have not done a business card, it is still something people are doing, believe it or not. You can do an electronic business card, that's fine. Have that on your phone, have that accessible. If you don't know what that is, Google that one. I don't have a link to that. Business cards. Yard signs, open house signs. Guess what? Both of those, business cards and yard signs and open house signs, need to be proofed by me before you go to print. Please, please send me the proof before you pay to get those printed. Email signatures. Folks, if you are not having an email signature, and even sometimes on your text messages, if you didn't know there's a way to create a signature on a text message and put a shortcut to it. So like for me, I could put MKS and it will drop in my full signature if I want to make sure somebody knows who I am. I often just click the things afterwards, but there are ways to do that in text messaging and voicemail recordings. Guess what? The Department of Real Estate actually does say that you are to identify yourself on your voice message, because guess what? You are running a business. So if your message just says, hey, leave a message, I think you may need to update that, right? Because you are running a business and that is your business phone number, right? So if you've left a message for somebody, somebody calls you back and they don't know you're a licensed agent, not so good, right? They need to know that. Okay, website, we give you a free website. Take advantage of it. It's free. You can edit it and design it your way, but it's already there, ready for you. You just click on that one zone and you go in. And guess what? With the one suite, there is a CRM. You can't see that on the bottom there. I don't know if I can move that out of the way. Does anybody know what CRM actually stands for? Customer relationship management. Everybody always gets puzzled by that. I don't know how to get rid of this. Hopefully it will disappear. Okay. Sorry, folks online. You couldn't see that. We were just having trouble. There we go. Going to the next screen. All right. One branding, one design creative studio and print center. When we start talking about business cards, let's start with the one branding, because you need to know that there are logos and the information on the colors, etc. That's through the one branding. Under business cards, you can go to the Creative Studio. There are multiple places you can get business cards. Yes, you can go to Office Depot. You can go to Vistaprint, but you probably want to start on the Creative Studio if you're going to design your own cards. You may want to go to Canva. You'll go to branding and download your logos and stuff, or you can use business cards, which will show up there. You can see one business card. Oops, hold on. That was not what I wanted to do. You will see one business cards and one business cards AZ. Please select the AZ. That is because it's corporate versus franchise. Okay. So this next page may be the one that we'll talk about this a little more. Back on the Creative Studio, here are some different designs through that Creative Studio. These are already laid out for you. You go in and put your name, phone number. You can put your license number if you would like to. Just make sure that you do not put, I do not put is someplace else. Hang on. So you can also go to the Print Center. They do have business cards and name badges. These are different designs. But you can go in here and you can actually order through the Print Center. Again, choose corporate locations, not franchisees. I'll show you something there in just a minute. Here are some of those designs. You are not allowed to use the bullet card. That's only for managing brokers. But the rest of them you can use. Some have photos, some do not. Some are horizontal, some are vertical, kind of your choice and your feel for what you're looking for. You can also go to markful.com. Markful has Realty One Group as one of the companies. Make sure it is not Realty One Group plus something else. Realty One Group Infinity, Realty One Group Mountain Desert. There are literally hundreds in markful.com. So please make sure it just says Realty One Group, okay? And then you can go to the business cards. I actually looked online, it said they were starting at $21 for 100 business cards, which is kind of interesting. And these are some of the designs that they have. There should be some more, one more set. So again, wide variety here. All sorts of different options available with photos, without photos, with text or without. Name tags, markful.com also has name tags. So did the office, so did one of those other ones. The print center had name tags, right? So you can choose, I looked at the different, I pulled up the different frames. So you can see they can be black, frameless, gold, silver, bling. You can have all sorts of little shiny things on them, or a mix if you want to get 2 different name tags. Highly, highly recommend name tags, especially if you are in and around a neighborhood coffee shop or grocery store. If you frequent restaurants, wear your name tag, folks. It's great advertising. And yes, I'm wearing a Realty One Group shirt, but the name tag is pretty cool because people will say, hey, Melissa, how are you today? And I'm like, why are they calling me? Oh, yeah, I got my name tag on today. Okay. But it's a great way to have conversations started. If you are showing homes, if you are going on neighborhood tours, put your name tag on, right? Please help people know who you are. So here under the print center, here you go. These are very unique designs. These are the Realty One Group. You got to have that circle for the one. So they do have some different looking name tags. Certainly worth a conversation. People are looking at them and going, wait, what do they have on them? So signs, lots of different options. We do have on the one zone, D Signs is out of state, but they just offered, it wasn't yours. Somebody else just ordered some signs and they got a smoking deal. Normally I would be afraid of shipping, but they got free shipping and they got a huge discount. I know, isn't that crazy? So ask, you never know what you can get. I have no idea how they got that. I like working with Hallie B over at the Chandler Fast Signs. Yes, I know it's a little bit away. Somebody said they got free shipping from them. I've never gotten free shipping from Fast Signs, but Fast Signs does give you a discount. The one in Chandler, nice that our neighbor in Phoenix, Scottsdale, they will not give us a discount, probably because they get the business from our Scottsdale offices. And they won't give us a discount. They're right here. They're fast. All of them have our logos though. Realty Sign Co. is right here at Bell Road or down at 7th Street in McDowell.
Yeah.
16th Street in McDowell. Okay. So my comment is I like Realty Sign Co. If you need a quick open house sign that something broke, you can go down there. They actually usually have them printed and on the shelf. You can just grab one. But if you're looking for custom work, I love working with Hallie because you can send her your unique design. She will modify it. I don't think I have set up here. Oops, sorry. So what I recommend people do, and we'll come to this slide later, I'm sure, is if you are not sure what you like design-wise, go type Realty One Group in Google and say Realty One Group business cards or Realty One Group signs. And then if you didn't know, you can click images. After you hit enter, you can click images. And if you click images, it will give you images of signs all over the place, right? Now, remember, they may not be legal in Arizona. So please call me before you say, oh, I'm going to go do that. I'm like, glad you found that. But that state may have different rules than our commissioner does here. So, you guys can grab those phone numbers and stuff. But
Question.
yeah,
When you're going through these companies, are you pretty safe if they know the criteria they have to meet for it to be approved, or we should always go through the mail?
you still have to go through me because they will do what the client tells them to do. But they already have our graphics and everything. So if you can say, I want this, you don't have to go deliver it to them. They already, all of these already have it. Realty Sign Co., the reason they're great if you want our standard logo and want them to put your name and phone number. They'll knock it out day in and day out. That's not an issue. I tried to send them a picture and they're like, well, let's see if we could get this to our computer to work. I'm like, you have a program where you move that photo over. I'm not sure what the disconnect
Mhm.
here is. And I did have another agent the other day call and say they tried to send something unique. And so
Mhm.
standard, fast, quick, get it done. You need a sign tomorrow. They can do your standard sign. You want something unique for you.
Yeah.
You want to put a splash of color. You want to do your own design. Let them do the design. They always send you a proof of that. Send me that email. Let me take a quick peek at it. Okay. The biggest issue in the state of Arizona, our commissioner is adamant. The public needs to know who is the broker. So if all you're doing is saying Melissa Schwartz Realty One Group, we know who the broker is. But if you have a team or you go by some other name on there, say Arizona Realty, right? And then Realty One Group. Who's the broker? So in that case, Realty One Group had better be bigger than whatever that other word or team or whatever it is. Sometimes what they're doing is doing powered by. The reason that word came around, right? Powered by another company, I'm not going to say, is because they had all these entities that were now being powered by this new real estate company, right?
Mhm.
So that clearly delineates who's the broker, right? Powered by the, so you want to add powered by or, working through, or there are other words you can use other than powered by, that's fine. Then you can have Realty One Group a little smaller, but according to our commissioner, it must be clear who the broker is. Okay. All right. So, voicemail recording. You should have your name, Realty One Group, and then I recommend if you do texting, put on there, you can text me and I may be able to return, a message faster. Now, how many of you have your voicemail turn into text? Am I the only one that does
Yeah.
that? I do that, right? So that I get that information and I can text somebody back. But I do think it makes sense on a voicemail. If you don't want a bunch of voicemail messages, put down there, please text me. I don't know how many of you are getting, I get so many spam messages. So hours of operation, if you want to put that, if you truly are not going to work on Sundays, I think it's important on your voicemail to say, any calls received on Sunday will be returned the next business day.
Yeah.
You can think about other things that you want to say. My referrals are, the backbone of my business. I mean, if you have a branding phrase, probably end with that, right? So it's up to you, but you absolutely should be saying, hi, I'm Melissa Schwartz. I'm the managing broker for Realty One Group. I mean, that is on my voicemail. It needs to be on my voicemail, right? And guess what? Your name and Realty One Group need to be on your voicemail. All right, so let's see what's next. If you're, here you go. If you're design challenged, Google Realty One Group signs, Realty One Group business cards, then select images. Okay, here are the things do not. We are a corporate office. Please do not put on your business cards. Each office is independently owned and operated. By choosing the corporate version of those cards, you should not see that. But if for some reason it pops up, replace that line with your license number. Okay. We are not independently owned and operated. We are a part of 12 corporate offices owned by Cuba, right? We can't put that on our cards. Okay. Please do not put Realty One Group Paradise Valley. While I love Paradise Valley, and I do want you to share that you're a part of Paradise Valley, it does not belong after Realty One Group. You can put it elsewhere on the card if you want. But why do I say that? Does anybody know? So our franchisees all have their identifier after the word Realty One Group. In the state of Arizona, we have Realty One Group Integrity is in Tucson. Realty One Group Mountain Desert is east, north, and west, all around the edge of the state, okay? So in California, there's so many. There actually is a Paradise, believe it or not. Realty One Group Paradise is a franchise office, okay? So when you do Realty One Group Paradise Valley, it looks like you're a franchise office, which we're not. And it's not that I don't want you to say where we are, which is great. Speaking of that, please do not put your personal residence on a business card. First of all, I'm not sure why you would want to, but I did just see one the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, you cannot do that. And don't put that on your email or anything, because the Department of Real Estate is then, you're saying, I have an office here. You do not have an office at your home, even if you have a secondary office. Your office is where your license is hung, which is the location of your license, and that is here. So you are welcome to put the business address on your business card. I'm going to throw out there, because I don't know if I'm going to get to the slide. When you do a Google business account, I'll tell you the reverse. Do not use this address because we cannot have 300 agents with this address on Google, because Google would take, I don't know, your time frame, your business hours, and not recognize our office actually does have business hours that need to be on there to show when those doors are open, not when you are doing business. Does that make sense? So you cannot use that address for your place of business on your Google business. Okay, so let's get to the zone. One of the things, if you have not done, please go in and update your zone. Don't ask me why my photo is not here. Somehow the computer took it down off my manager's account. So you'll see my profile is 93% complete. What you have to do first is actually go to where that little caret is, or the little triangle. Click on that. So it takes you to the My Account or log out. You want to go to the My Account, which then opens on the top right side of the page, those 4 little icons, and you want to go to the little one with the head, and you want to edit that, okay? And you can see the little pencil to edit that. This is to edit your profile. Why is that important? Does anybody know? Some of you are experienced agents. What?
I said I never did this one step here. I was talking to myself, sort of.
Okay, and here's the problem, because when people are searching for agents in realtyonegroup.com, right, 20,000 agents,
Right.
if you have not completed your profile, they get a lovely little one. That's all that shows up, instead of showing one, hi, me, right? Your photo is what goes out on there. And if you speak multiple languages, put down you speak other languages. People often search, I'm looking for somebody that speaks Farsi. I'm looking for somebody that speaks, Spanish or Portuguese, right? So all of those things are searchable, but if you don't do your zone profile, you're not very searchable, okay? And people from all around the world are searching that. If you don't think they're searching Phoenix and Scottsdale, we're here. They don't know you are. So please go in and do that. Okay. When you go to your one login, the branding, hold on, I got to move this out of the way so the people here can see this. On the far right, you will see the word essentials. If you click on one branding, this top line shows up. Under the guide is where you get, on the far left, you'll see is where you get your logos and the colors and all that stuff. But I'm just focusing on essentials. If you notice, all of these are black. The way you get to the next page is making them turn gold, fitting with our theme, right? You make it turn gold and then you can go to the next thing. So if you go to essentials, you can scroll down and actually see one of our options for an email signature. There are other email signatures you can use. And by the way, the bottom of it is updated. You don't get 13,000. It will say 20,000 professionals. All of those things have been updated. I think we're actually in all 50 states now. I have to double check if that changed. But you get to edit and put that information there. Again, you can put your license number on there if you want. In your other line, you could do that if you wanted to. Okay, let's see what else we have. I'm going to go a little bit later. Email signature under the one login, the design creative studio. There are group digital templates, and they have some, let's see if it's going to show, they have these different types of digital signatures. You can copy these and paste these into your email server, your email provider, change your settings. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see an email signature. So you can set up email signatures from your company and make sure that your signature is there, okay? If you want people, if they're clicking on that, to automatically, go to you, send you an email, make sure you're providing the links. One of the reasons I like the other email signatures, I believe you're able to click the phone. And if somebody's getting that email on their phone, they can click on the phone number of that signature, not this one, the one I did just before that. They click on the phone number and they can dial you immediately. This one, unless you put in that HTML coding to go to the phone number, it doesn't click to a phone number, right? Does that make sense? So, sorry, I want to go just turn that off. All right, website. So we have the one login, one suite, which gives you both our website and the website editor, tools and tricks. The one thing I recommend is if you have your own vanity page, to go ahead and pay for somebody on that. You can click on the website editor and there are tools there. You can pay someone to link the two. If you've never done that, I recommend, it's like $35. Well worth it to have them put that link together. CRM database, again, this is the one login and one suite, same place we just were. This is to set up your CRM and your database. Again, this is your content management information to work with your sphere of influence, contacts and leads. There's a whole system there. They have preset mailers you can send out. They've got, things that you can set for drips, all type of data in there. You can go look at it. Here's the business profile, set up a free business profile. And then here I'm going to say, please do not use our address. It does require an address because they have to send you a postcard. You are able to put your personal address. You can ask it not to be public. Okay. They send the card to you for verification, but it's not a public address. All right. Facebook. We have a multitude of Facebook groups, including our own private group, One Exclusives. As we delve into this time zone where we have properties that are coming soon or not on the market yet, you have the right to market within Realty One Group. Please do not put that on our Paradise Valley Facebook group. Put that on the One Exclusive listings. That gets you to all of our agents in the Maricopa County, all of our corporate agents, right? Not franchise, but corporate. And nobody else is on there. They're just Realty One Group agents. Our Facebook page has Rock Title, it has Epic, it has other affiliates that are not realtors in Realty One Group, and they may hold licenses, folks. So please, please do not put them on there. You can only put your office exclusive things in the One Exclusive listings. Okay, does that make sense? I need to try to get the Paradise Valley style. Facebook shut me down like a year ago. So One Exclusives, Realty One Group Arizona. If you do a lot with Scottsdale and North Scottsdale, please feel free to go look for theirs and join theirs. There is also a Realty One Group referral network all across the country. Now, please be aware there are, we have 3,000 Realty One Group agents in Maricopa County. You have to figure a lot of these Realty One Group offices have 50 people in their offices, right? Big difference than Arizona, which is like a lot, right? So, but you can join there, post your stuff, see what's going on. Instagram, right? There's ROG Paradise Valley. We hope to get a little more visible with this. YouTube, as I said, Realty One Group Paradise Valley. Social media. You remember, please, that you have to have your Realty One Group affiliation visible, okay? Brokerage name must be prominently displayed on your website business cards. Social media doesn't have to have it prominently displayed, but it must be a part of it. So please keep that in mind and know the one logo doesn't cut it. It needs to say Realty One Group, okay? Let's see, what do I have left? Hey, that wasn't that bad. I sped through that. All right, are you ready to do real estate? In the words of Mandy Neat, you do matter. Show your value. I'm gonna stop right, whoops, right there. I can go backwards. I'm gonna stop right there. Any questions online? Anybody have any questions online? I can, whoops, where's my thing here?
And then
Okay, I can, trying to get back there. Stop my recording.